Welcome or welcome back to Pokopia Zone Locked. This is episode 3 of our challenge, and we're still working away at the Withered Wastelands. If you're wanting to know more about the challenge, definitely check out the previous episodes. But essentially, before we are allowed to move on from a zone, we need to do all the zone habitats, meet all the Pokemon for those habitats, collect all human records and recipes, and make sure every Pokemon has an awesome comfort rating. We did a lot of work last week digging with Pidgey for mysterious slates and fossils, and spoiler alert, we had to do a lot more of that after too. But now it's time to see the fruit of Ditto and Pidgey's labours in episode 3. We finished last episode with 57 Pokemon and 42 habitats. Now, it turns out I'm not very good at math, because the final totals we have been using for Pokemon are a little scuffed. I had forgotten to take into account Kyogre, Mew and Suicune in the final Pokemon number, which would actually take our total up to 70. Although I am pretty sure that the wing fossils aren't actually obtainable yet, so that brings us back down to 69. 68 if we discover Suicune also requires a later story beat, but back up to 69 if we include Sableye, who is showing up in an event soon. It's very complicated, but for now I will stick with 69, from one funny number to another. That means the wing fossil habitat is also unobtainable, but the new habitat for Sableye means we can keep the total for habitats at 49 at least. With that boring bit of admin out of the way, we managed to make some progress with our habitats. Pidgey helped me dig up the pitcher plant pot relic, which allowed us to finish Irresistible Scent and Glow, only for Victory Bell to turn up at a different habitat altogether. Ungrateful, really. We also found an eerie candle from a dig spot, so I copied it with some of my Pokemetal at the 3D printer, and voila! A creepy grave offering. It sounds a bit derogatory, because Chandelier showed up and really liked it, and I don't think they're that creepy considering some of our residents. We also managed to grab the last berries we needed from the Pokemon Center to finish the berry craftables. That allowed us to make the Berry Feast campsite, which is for Charizard, but we already have him, so it's just for the habitat decks really. The very berry space with help from Pichu to light the lamp, and the luxury chirp meal. We were soon rewarded with 2 new Pokemon friends, Goodra at the very berry space, and Pidgeot at the bird table. I have no idea how he fit in there. Some of our other habitats also got some attention too. Vileplume graced our Chansey resting area. Volbeat finally showed up in our hydrated flower beds, and was a real freak about it too. Lampent rounded out our Litwick line, Venusaur finished the 3 starter lines, and we got the other 2 forms of Shellos and Gastrodon. But the real star of this episode is yet to come. With lots of grinding, we managed to finish our mysterious mural. Or should I say, Mew-roll. Yep, our reward for this insanely long process was the mythical Mew. Believed to be the ancestor of all Pokemon, Mew is the equivalent of our last universal common ancestor. Although it isn't the ancestor of humans as well, so not quite. I could suggest Bikaya, but not all Pokemon are chordates, and humans are. Perhaps I should stop trying to apply real-life biology to a fictional franchise? Either way, Mew is the last Pokemon I know for sure we can get in the Wastelands. No wing fossils have shown up in this time, and I still haven't found Suicune on the Dream Island. I'm thinking perhaps he doesn't show up until you meet Raikou in Bleak Beach, but that's just speculation. I could time travel or use the Dream Island reset exploit to check the theory, although I don't really like the idea of doing either because they feel a bit cheaty to me. If you have thoughts, let me know. So what's left? Well, I've bought all the recipes from the shop and found all the human records, but I haven't got an awesome rating for all my Pokemon yet, nor have I finished building up the island, and we still have some challenges to complete. There's also the floating in the shade habitat, which requires the beach parasol, and I have stopped acquiring new recipes from Sparkling Ripples, and one still hasn't shown up in the shop. I'm not sure if it's even available in the rotating stock until you get to Bleak Beach, and because this is such a weird challenge, I can't find information out there to confirm or deny. For the challenges, a couple are going to be impossible to complete. Building different structures is simply impossible with a Pokemon available to us. We've built the Pink Hut, Leaf Den, Leaf Hut, Leaf Cottage and Leaf House, but the other kits we found require either Pokemon we don't have yet, like Gather Pokemon, or materials we don't have access to yet, like ingots or twine. You've got to get the last colour variant of flowers from the shop to get the Flowers in Bloom challenge, but other things we can complete like harvesting veggies and building more of our houses, I just have to grind those out. I'd like to do a section where I read out all of the human records we found. I might do that in a separate video, along with conversations between Pokemon, for those who are interested in the lore drops as well as just challenge progress. I've been doing a lot of building in the background, but I still want to make a Pokemon gym for the area as well, so we're not quite ready to move on. But when we do, where should we go? I'm thinking Rocky Ridges offers us the most useful upgrades. Graveler, smelting, cooking, although the painting and water spitting from Bleak Beach would be nice for aesthetic purposes. I'd love to hear what you think is best. At the end of this episode, we've reached 68 out of 69 of our total Pokemon, with the last spot being reserved for Sableye. Who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and it is possible to get Suicune, and if that's so, that will bring our total to 70. We've got 47 out of 49 total habitats, with just the habitat for Sableye to go, and the floating in the shade habitat, which might be impossible until Bleak Beach, but again, we'll see. And until next time, stay cozy.